We're into season 29. How the devil are you? It is Titus Pétange. 9-time Champions League winners, and we'll start off with a correction from the end of the 28th season when I said, I don't think we've lost a Champions League final. We did lose a Champions League final all the way back in 2043. So let's go back there. 2043. Is it at the bottom of this? It was the 1-0 loss against Real Madrid. To be fair, it is about 6 years ago now. So, well, it's just over 6 years. So, yeah. I just forgot about it, okay? But I remember that it was pretty harsh, this final, if I do think so. It just felt like Real Madrid were going to snatch it at the end, and they indeed did. It didn't really affect me that much, to be honest. I just switched off and forgot about it pretty quickly. Maybe Paradiso was at Real Madrid at this time, 2043. Let's have a check. Paradiso. Where are you, pal? I've lost his name. There we go. Paradiso, 2043. No, he was still at Titus Pétange. Maybe that was the game that made him think, Real Madrid is a good option in the future. I think Real Madrid were the only team that put up 83 million is just not enough for a player like that. In my opinion, we've got so much more money, including players that we've just sold this season. For worse players, I guess worse quality. Like, we're not talking shit players by any stretch of the imagination. Let's go into the transfers, because, well, we need to talk about this, really. All these Blues. I am going to pump in, wait for it, breathe, £360 million into Luxembourg clubs. How about that? And that is because our finances at the moment are a joke. We have got a balance of £869 million. It's eye-watering stuff, I know. So even if I spent 360 million, we got like 490 still left. 58,000 shirts sold, 58,945 to be precise, and the training facilities have been improved at two point something million pounds cost. I mean, you know that now. I don't think I need to keep on informing you. We'll try and keep the youth facilities, the training facilities, top class, top quality, forever. All right, so a lot of money going in. Let's have a look at the transfer history. Not many players signing up with the squad so far. I haven't done a shortlist for this year. I'm sure we're going to find some top class, the talent on show. Let's go back end of last season. Did we talk about Anthony Alfarone? Probably. No, because this was in June. I see. Right. So, Rogerio, I think we talked about Stuart, didn't we? Yep. Would make sense. Joseph Day coming in from Liverpool, growing very nicely at the moment. Anthony Alfarone was a late addition on the from last season. And then outgoing, nobody in the outgoing. That changes dramatically this season, okay? Of course, is get dominated by loans, so fees to the top. And we'll start with Irving Hernandez, who just wasn't it, pal. And we just offloaded him to Cruz Azul. So we gave back to Cruz Azul. Hopefully he's a decent player for the Mexican side. He's on a free, so they just covered his wages. Andy Eves to West Brom, another player that just didn't hit any kind of marks. It's fine. £275,000. Then we get into the millions. Matthias Vendekis, 3.5-star player going to River Plate. I was going to say Rail Plate then. That would have been... no, River Plate, 2.4 million. The second choice goalkeeper moves out of the club, and I think we put in Moreira. Moreira is our second choice goalkeeper now. So there you go. There's the second choice goalkeeper situation. 3.3 million. Andre Pashka, who had a decent wheel, but his potential dropped off almost as soon as we signed him up. He's gone to Juventus for 6 million. Like, what? We've got a ton of these players, and the 5th lowest is 6 million, so we have made some serious money. Julien Normand, who I think scored in our first ever UEFA Youth League winning season. He has gone to Wolfsburg after finally succumbing to that potential. It's a shame. I thought he was going to be like really, really good. He was one of them weird players that was an attacking mid that we tried to make striker, and we did make striker. He'll be a decent striker for Wolfsburg. He's not going to be anywhere near our first team. Ajdin Mamutovic has finally gone. He's gone to Chelsea, and what an absolute steal that is. There's a few steals in here as well. Mamutovic, 26 years old. The left-back situation is dominated by younger players than him, so it's like, well, what is the point of keeping him around? We can't loan him out because of the FIFA loan rules. Or is it UEFA loan? Whatever, there's some kind of loan rules which means that I cannot loan out unlimited amounts of older players. So let's get him gone. He's not going to be our first team up. He's at Chelsea now, 6.5 million. Absolute bargain and a half. Jesse Van der Poel went to AC Milan. He's gone up. That potential has gone up. Okay, right. back to scouting him. I swear he was 4 stars when I sold him. I would not have sold him at 4.5. So that's a bit of a plonker move, isn't it? £7 million for that. I mean, that could come back to bite me in the ass. Tony Kobosh went to Partizan Belgrade for 4-star potential. That's a steal as well. I think the biggest steal is here. Emmanuel Navarro. I mean, he's going to be fucking unbelievable. He's just like Kevin Kone, who we'll talk about in a second. He's just like on that fringe where he'll never really break in. So we got rid of him, but we got rid of him at such a cut price. Dirt cheap. Profiteer, yet again, on the fringes. He's moved to Atletico Madrid, obviously, with, Sabotic, the right back, the Luxembourg right back. Yeah, Frederick Sabotic. We're obviously going to put a lot of concentration on this kid to try and make him, like, world-class. Obviously, being the Luxembourg guy, and I think we got a lad called Leo Grande as well, who's out on loan at the moment. To try and concentrate on them lads, which means that right backs, it's very difficult for a right back to break through. Nikitas Adam, not a bad signing here for Copenhagen. The 22-year-old midfielder could also turn into a left back. 20 million there. Profiteer was 15.5. Then we get into the big money. I mean, I don't really know how I recouped 36 million for James Tizard. We signed him up for 45, so it's only a £9 million loss. All right player, but I don't think he's worth that much. How about this? What a story. What a story. It was a money maker, a money spinner. Jorge Rodriguez was sold to Manchester United for 60-odd million quid, 62 million quid. And then we get to Kevin Kone, who I feel sorry for in some points because he was working his arse off to get into the first team of Titus Pétange. And we had openings this year, and we put him into the first team, and then we got an offer in from Liverpool that we couldn't really refuse. He's so close to making it because we had, like, younger players like this. Agresta is a joke. Absolutely joking at 21 years old. And then we brought in... We've not brought him in, actually. We put him out on loan. Simon Warner, who's at Manchester United. So Man United have really bolstered up their defence at the moment. Pang's out on loan. So we got loads of centre-backs there. It's a shame. It's just an offer that we couldn't really refuse for a player that, I mean, would see game time, but he's definitely not our best centre-back. We'll see. We'll see if he turns into an absolute monster. We've got to sign him back, but we got to keep an eye on that wage. That's reminding me of something, right? Leverington, playing for Barcelona at the moment. A player that we used to play at Titus Pétange, and I looked at them stats like, Jesus Christ, he's turned great. He has really turned good. 27 years old now, so. If we transferred him over here, he might give us 2-3 years of service. 40% sell-on clause. So we could get him dirt cheap. And then I saw them wages. His wage is just astronomical. That club is in the mud. That club is in the mud. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so Kevin Kone sold to Liverpool. Then we get into the really big money. Modesto did go eventually. After interest in January, we knew it was time. This is like the smoothest transfer I have ever seen. It was like early season. When did he actually leave? I think it was like the first transfer that we'd confirmed. It was the 1st of January. So it was confirmed in June, but he waited until the contract, whatever. He waited until the start of January, the start of the season. I got offers of about 33 million. I was like, that is so low. So I put like offer to clubs 80 million, expecting us to make a pretty heavy loss or loss on the expectation. I wanted 80 million for him. We were getting 70s in January, 33s were coming in. So I offered to clubs at 80, and Paris Saint-Germain just went, okay. Every other club didn't, but Paris Saint-Germain just went, okay. In a couple of days' time, he signed with Paris Saint-Germain. It was so smooth. I wish every single transfer was like that. They spent a lot. They really did spend a lot this season, because Luis Alberto is another one that they went for. The central midfielder, usually popping up on the left-hand side. I thought £110 million for him was acceptable. And to diminish our left midfield spots even further, we got rid of Faisal Ade. But look at the fucking price that we got for him. It is the record transfer. It dwarfs Lefinger. They offered, it was 89 plus 20 in installments. I was like, yeah, okay, change that 20 to 100 and we might be talking. And they were like, okay. And I was like, oh, okay. 26 years old, so, well, I would be looking to sell him on in about 3 years' time. He's a fucking phenomenal player, but for £189 million, it's time to say goodbye. It was Faisal Ade actually. Yeah, Faisal Ade was sold first, and then I decided to sell Luis Alberto on afterwards because he's slightly older, 27 years old, and going into the first team squad, I really, really want to put all my faith in this kid. I've watched him play now. And let me tell you, Paradiso. Let me tell you, he has got it. It's the ball knowledge more than anything. He came in, I think first couple of games he assisted 3 times. He just knows how to assist. He knows where his other. Yeah, he's got 5 assists in 5 appearances. Like, how mad is that for a 16-year-old? He might have turned... No, he's still 16. He is still 16. He's already turned natural in attacking mid-left. He's set. He just needs to grow now. That valuation, ridiculous. Ability, shooting up. This kid could be it. Keep an eye out. I've put all my faith in him. We've also got Bordenaro coming back. Left-footed striker. Still unambitious, but he can cross. So I'm going to try and get him to learn this position. Development, winger attack. Just to help out a bit. But also try and rotate him up in striker as well to keep him happy. It's going to be a rotation job at some point. It's a big-ish side. Oh, schedule. Talking about big-ish sides. Top. You need a big-ish side to get to the fucking Club World Cup finals, don't you? Jesus. Who actually won that? I know that Man United were in the final. And they beat Inter Milan. Okay. Well done, Manchester United. Fair enough. Yeah, we lost to Liverpool in the quarters. Just seems to happen all the time. I tried to rotate it this time around because I kind of want to win it. Because we didn't win it with Rupel, and we haven't won it with Titus Pétange yet. I did try and like think tactically and rotate the side. But I still got absolutely shattered. Like, my players are just not ready for it. The lads are like, please let me leave. Okay, squad. We have gone through all the transfers, haven't we? Just to check. All the way back. Are we getting there? Transfers, transfer history. Top face ladder, yeah. And then everything else was loans. There's a few nice monthly fees coming in. With the top being Chris Hewitt, 1.4 million. And Pang's got 1.1 million. Warner's 1 million. So, I mean, we got millions coming in just from loans. Very nice indeed. Thank you very much, lads. Warner's going to be an insane player. Insane. It would have been fucking amazing if we were able to get him from Brighton, but he chose to go to City instead. Whatever. He's our player now. Alright, let's flick through the first team squad. Let's appreciate what we've done with this under 23s. All the loans in the world, pal. All the loans in the world. Some tough decisions, obviously, to sell certain players. But we have utilised our loans to the best of our ability. This is the best that I've ever seen it. I can't wait to see the growth. It's one of my favourite things. As soon as the season finishes, you flick through the under 23s to see who's grown the most, and you're like, oh my god, he's turned into a really good player. Under 18s wise, yeah, there's a few there in the under 18s. I think it might be our director of football who's deciding to. That's not the player that we're looking for. Who's deciding to sign up some of our youth academy intake, which I guess has brought in this guy, Joel Muller, but I don't think he's going to turn into much in comparison to some of the Luxembourg players that I've seen at other clubs. Seems like a pretty decent 15-year-old. He might get into the national team eventually. But, yeah, centre-back, 5'11". I don't know, man. I don't know. But, you know, good luck to him, I guess. Talking about Luxembourg, let's talk about Luxembourg a little bit. I know, I'm all over the place, but there's so much to cover. Luxembourg, 91st in the world rankings at the moment, but schedule-wise, they just fucking beat Denmark at home. Hey! How's the youth rating? Generated players, 74. I don't know if that's gone up or down. I honestly don't. I'm going to put it up to 75. Sod it. 75. Hey, what? I've won on me, lads. Chaps. There might be a chance of them going into the World Cup properly at the 4th place at the moment. Oh, they're not. But they're getting better, bro. They're getting better. Maybe the Euros is a possibility for sure, especially with results like that against Denmark. That's pretty mad, isn't it? Steve Gomez scored for them. A handy little player, I guess. You know, they're turning handy now. Luxembourg players are turning handy instead of useless. Okay? So there it is. At the 75 youth rating, Sabotic is their key player now. Good. Really good. I was about to say. And now let's get into the first team. Oh, Mazegla's unhappy. Why is he unhappy? Oh, yes, we had an argument about Faisal Ade's sale, as if he didn't know that 189 million is a pretty decent deal for a player that, you know, is good, but he's replaceable. All right, crack on. This is the team. Ungwakali's back. Paniagua, massive offer on the table for Paniagua, about 140 million. That I was so close to accepting, but we've decided to carry on with him. Ugarelli's returning, yes! Let's go. Oh, we have decided to take him off individual training because he fucking hated that. I'm going to go defensive midfielder. He's not complaining as much, but the places that we want him, the attributes that we want him to improve at, he's improving at. Keep it on the down low. Be secret about this, but his defensive stats are getting better now. So let's hope. Let's just hope that is the making of a defensive Ugarelli. Uriarte. And we go to aggressed as a joke. Nicolau. Oh, Nicolau like forced my hand a little bit on some of the loans. The loan for... No, it was the Navarro sale. So Hewitt was loaned out. Fair enough. Semi-final goal scorer last season. Nicolau kind of was stressing about playing first-team football. He's 23. I couldn't loan him out. So I was like, okay, this is your chance. And he does. Actually, the wheel reminds me of a young Leverington. So if we can get the same kind of performances and maybe the same growth, Leverington was a miss by me, unfortunately, to Barcelona's advantage. Maybe if we can get the same kind of player, he's going to be sick for us. Really strong on both feet. Just try and like make sure he becomes a centre mid. That's all that we need him to do now. And we get to Savo Karan. Cardenas. Okay. I've said this, I call this guy Cardenas. He's not Cardenas, he's Cardenas. So I've got to remember that he's called Cardenas and not Cardenas. I was thinking that he had one of them wavy things over his N. Dejuy is still here, I think, with a new wage of £145,000 a week. He's an excellent defender at 5 foot. Just crazy to say he's 5'10". Aaron Diamond has made it into the first team. I don't know how he's going to go either. He got injured in his first game. So, yes, he is quite injury prone. But let's see. It's his year to show us. Because we, like I said, we do have some amazing right midfield talent coming through, and I think Aaron Diamond might be one of the weaker positions of all of them right wingers coming through. So he's got to have a great season. If he doesn't have a great season, then we'll look to sell him because his valuation is a joke. Josemi there, coming back to the first team. And growing quite nicely. Also knows how to play on the left foot, even though he's not that... on the left side, even though his left foot's not that great. I would rather keep him as a forward. Nice rotation with the forwards as well. Michael Martinez, just a world-class player. He is insane. And back to Mazegla. We've gone through them all. Bam, 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 bam. So you know the state, you know what I'm trying to do with the side, and you know the fucking... Look at this. Look at the loans, man. Oh, here's another one that we got to keep an eye on. Jose Luis Carrillo, who we snapped up from Sevilla for £5.75 million, is making waves, mate. So it's another central midfielder that will eventually want to break through. And at that point, you're probably looking at Michael Martinez moving. So a Spanish player coming in for a Spanish player. Oliveira is a midfielder that's, yet again, just flying along. So let's just find out. This is going to be an interesting couple of seasons for the midfielders. Chris Boa, he's another great centre mid. Look at you, Jesus Christ. It's a nice problem to have. All right, it's a nice problem to have. Quick pick. This is Man City in the Champions League. The Champions League, we're top, winning both of our games. Jeunesse de Esch are actually top of their group, and the other two, Edzella and Schiffelange, not doing quite well. So I'm trying to give them a bit of money through these transfers. And it looks like we're gonna sign a lad called Dominic Jennings at 4.5 stars. How about that? There we go. Some future signings that we'll get on to eventually. quick pick. We saved up Paradiso's legs last game from the left-hand side. I'm going to do it. I want to show you this kid. I think he is an absolute gem. I'm really confident. He's away against City. It's mental, right? But I am so confident he's actually going to play well. Saran. Or Karan. Answers on a postcard, please. Someone tell us. Is it Saran or Karan? I want to side with Saran. I'm happy with this team. Let's see. It's not... You know what? It's no problem if we actually lose this. But match stats, we're looking quite even. They lost to Arsenal last season. Oh yeah, match stats were dominating. This is good. So they got Quero up front. He must be like at the peak of his powers now. 26. Wow, he's not... you know what? I thought Quero would be better than that. Wow. He's a great striker, but look at the fucking valuation on him. 290 to 360. Yikes. Shin Young Ho still around, playing as a forward at the moment. Speed has gone. It's still an all-round striker. Quattrocchi must be hitting 30 years old now, exactly. Croft Morello. Santana might have been ours. Cafando was definitely ours. Decent enough goalkeeper. Thought he was going to be a little bit better. It's a good job that we stuck with Mazegla in that situation, because Mazegla is a better goalkeeper than Cafando. Half time, not really much happening. Okay, great. Great for the action. Thanks, guys. I chose this one to be the most interesting game out of the group stages, and clearly it's not being that. XG's really saying this is a really, really even contest. 60 minutes in. I mean, Saran's looking a bit nervous, bless him. Well, he's putting a good shift. Are we having Bordenaro up front? See, this is something that he needs to figure out. Finishing wise, I don't know if he's all there, which would make him moving to winger even more plausible, even like a more tempting decision. Change the two midfielders. Nicolau was the deep line playmaker and all of that. The centre backs are looking good. Unwakali's having a good game apparently, so we'll leave them alone. De Gea just given the ball to Quero. That's not great. No, Unwakali's there. That'll be the end of that attack. Hey, here we go. Paradiso just floats it into Cafando's hands. That's not great. Hopefully we haven't weakened the midfield to a point where they start dominating now. Nice header bite by Agresta there. Really, really calm. I got pointed out by Jack, who's been using he's been tweaking this formation a little bit for his own save. That we have a no-nonsense centre-back in this tactic. And I've never seek to change it because it's never caused me any problems. I just thought it was very, very interesting. Oh, Cafando! Paniagua tries the shot and clips the top of the crossbar. Yeah, so this world-beating formation has a no-nonsense centre-back. That's that whiff of shithouse. I just thought that was really, really nice. This is quite a good result here by Titus Pétange. One of Europe's more dangerous teams. Nullified. Completely nullified. Had a higher XG. I'm sorry that the game was that dead. I didn't want it to be that dead, but you know how much of a good result that is. Really controlled. We'll get him back to Luxembourg and we'll turn him over. 100% we'll turn him over at Park Paradiso. Paradiso himself had a pretty decent game, but it looks like one of the defenders was man of the match. It was very quiet indeed. Oh, and there we go. So our director of football is going to run over all of these. Hopefully none of them are problematic, which is nice. And, yeah, we're going to be just giving away £360 million. Cool. Yeah, that just took the piss, that game. Whatever. Raul Torres has already scored 20 goals. What a joker. Comfortably at top of the BGL League, as per. And we'll see you when we get to a Champions League semi-final, or if there's like anything like ridiculously interesting beforehand. Right. Jeunesse de Esch. I don't usually do this, but this was a goal that we need to talk about. Michael Martinez really just put Jeunesse de Esch in their place. Love it. It's goals like this that make you thankful. Yeah, so this was one of Karan's really impressive games. Outside of the foot hitting the post and in. What a joke. One turn, didn't even look at the net. He just knew where it was. Ogarelli down, one turn, bang. It's a joke of a goal. Oh, I say, what a goal there by Michael Martinez. Probably was man of the match in that game as well. Yeah. I've covered everything I've covered. Nice. And that was from last night. Good memory. See you next time.